Wait. Come on then. Good boys. And off to do their boy thing on an absolutely glorious morning. The sun isn't up very long, straight into the sun there. This is Kadira Beach's car park, Wentwood, and I'm going to go on another little walk with the doggies. Talk to you soon. Ozzy, come on! You'll have to forgive me shouting every now and again towards them. We're on a very, very muddy path. Let me just... Whoops, a daisy. Very, very muddy path. And it's quite hard to see the guys when they're ploughing their way through this. So as with walking in any wooded area in the UK, you're probably going to have major paths that will be marked on a map, and then you're going to have minor paths that may be marked. This is one of those minor paths that may be marked. Ooh, just look at that, a little bit of frost. That's how chilly it is. I think it was about 5 degrees this morning when I came out with these guys. So yeah, paths may be marked. This one is one of those that is marked very often. Just duck under a branch there. But also you're going to get paths that are used by animals, and in Wentwood they have and the surrounding area in this part, they have a lot of deer, and at this time of the year the deer are starting to rut, so you may get some strange noises every now and again. Just hang on a moment, I'm just going to move out to the camera right. As you can see, that looks very, very wet, and one of the things that happens is that the leaves cover the puddles, so you're tripsing through, you think it's solid and it's not, and you go ploughing straight down. Dogs doing their doggy things there. It's a very popular wood for dog walkers, especially at this time of the morning. And we'll come back later, because I need to concentrate a little bit more on the ground. Come on, Oz. Good boy. Yeah. Don't start fighting. Please, don't. Come on, this way. So I was talking about paths and tracks, etc. And we're just coming up to a more defined pathway in Wentwood. Just the bubbling water there that you can hear due to the amount of rain that we've had. So this path is marked on the map because it's one of the major routes that the foresters, the loggers use to come in, cull the wood, take it out. I'm not quite sure what happens with it after that, to be honest. So this is one of the ones that is definitely marked on the map, and we're on the outskirts almost of Wentwood. Right, so we're back. So what I stopped very quickly there is that I saw a loose dog in front, and I don't know whether you can see. Whoops, wrong way. I put my two on the lead. The reason I do that is not because they are dangerous, is that because not everybody, hang on a moment, is a dog person. So you may get young families coming out in Wentwood, albeit very strange at this time of the year. There we go, just this. So that one's Vespasian and that one's Oswiu. Vespasian on the left, Oswiu on the right. So yeah, I was saying you may get some families coming out at this time of the year, coming for a walk. Admittedly not at this time of the morning, but there's also runners, cyclists, and there may not be dog people. And as you can tell, I have two very, very bouncy bearded collies, which is what they are, by the way. Please do not say they're old English sheepdogs, we will fall out. They are bearded collies, and they just have lots of energy, which is one of the reasons I do a lot of walks. They are available to come out on the coaching walks at no extra cost. If you have a dog yourself, you can bring it along, and what we would do first, if you want to bring 2 dogs, 3 dogs along, is just to make sure, whoa, I'm being pulled a particular way by the dogs. There's obviously a scent there. Is just to make sure that the dogs get along, so we can meet 10-15 minutes somewhere first before we even start thinking about going for a walk. So there we go. This is one of those paths. Oops, Aussie. This is one of those paths that I was talking about that may or may not be on the map. This one actually leads up to another major route. Big swing around. And there we go. Come back later because these dogs have obviously got a scent in. However, before we go, that is one of the paths that are not marked on the route. And I think that's where the dog went. And I know that there is a family that live in the local area that come around and forage for mushrooms and wild food. And I think it might have been their collie that I noticed. So they may have gone down there, but that is definitely an animal path rather than a cyclist path. It's too narrow for a cyclist, really. Definitely not a person path. So probably a deer. And I'm going to continue walking up this road, hang a right somewhere, big loop back round to the car park. Talk to you later. Come on, boys! Vesper, Ozzy, this way! Come on! Good boy. Steady. Good. And Vesper's just doing worried. Come on, mate! So we're going up a little bit of a slope now. Sorry, the dogs have been waiting for me to set the cameras up, and as soon as I did, they were off. And I mentioned it's about 5-6 degrees, or it was this morning, and I will talk in more detail about a layering system and using clothes. Not in any great depth, but just things to think about, and certainly not from a technical point of view. I don't think that you need to think ultra high tech, ultra expensive. Just be a bit sensible. So what I've got on is a hat, no woolly hat, no gloves. I've got a neck buff. I have, where are we? A grey thermal top. Oops, my hat's falling apart there. A grey thermal top and that Rab Borealis windproof jacket. And that is keeping me very warm, backwards and forwards with the dogs. And to be honest, that would keep me warm on a walk around Wentwood 3, 4, 5, 6 degrees really easily. When I stop, I've got a bigger fleece that I can put on. And that's it really. And I think that all of that is fairly cheap. It's not about spending a fortune. It's about spending just enough to be comfortable, to be safe. Walking should be pleasurable and open to all, not ultra expensive. So as I said, really cheap grey fleece, really cheap grey thermal top. The jacket I think is probably the most expensive thing I've got with me. and I use the jacket a lot, but you can easily get away with a mid-weight fleece or a waterproof or something like that. In fact, give me a moment, I'll come back to you. So if I'm going to stop, let's take that off. So if I'm going to stop, have a break, have a brew, I wanted a bit of a bigger fleece thickness wise, because it's a bit chillier today. And this is the fleece that I started walking with. It's a cragopper fleece. This came as part of the sort of 2-in-1, 3-in-1 coats that you can get. So you get a fleece, the waterproof jacket, and you can take the waterproof by itself, the fleece by itself, or put them both together for a layered system, as it were. I didn't find that especially useful putting them all together, and I've used the fleece a lot more. So basically, let's just put that down. If I'm going to stop, get the brew on. This fleece by itself is probably about 25 quid, or it was back when I bought it. Hat back on. That keeps the heat in my head, and I'd get the brew kit out, have a brew, do everything else. This is more than adequate enough for me just to stop here, sit down, get the kettle on. If I was going to be here a little bit longer, then yes, I'd go back into the bag, I'd get my down jacket out, put that on, put the fleece on top of that, or vice versa. If I was going to start camping and think about where can I camp, and this is not a bad area for a bit of wild camping, I would take the fleece off, I would probably take my jacket off, because I'm going to be moving around a lot more while I set up camp, and I don't want to overheat. And that's part of what that layering system is. You think about what you're going to do and you dress appropriately. When you're doing this in small teams, so the Duke of Edinburgh for instance, you have plenty of time to stop, put the right clothes on, keep walking, or stop, take the clothes off that you don't need, pack them away and keep walking. The same when you start camp. Yes, it might be really cold when you first get up on a morning and you're just sitting around, so you put everything on, and you might be tempted to start thinking about, I'm going to walk like the Michelin man with every piece of clothing you have. Don't. Start cold, you will get warm. And you've got time to do that on things like the Duke of Edinburgh and walking by yourself, solo walking as well. And I'm very conscious on my coaching walks about an individual's body heat and their layering system, because that comfortableness that they feel helps them think better. It helps them with their coaching process better. So if you feel comfortable, you're not worrying about feeling cold or feeling too hot or feeling sweaty and feeling uncomfortable. You're thinking about the problems that we're talking about. So hence, it might sound strange to talk from a coaching point of view about a layering system in the outdoors. There is a reason behind that. Anyway, I've got my two little doggies over there who are really being rather quaint. One of them's trying to eat a little tree. That's Ozzy. Anyway, so I'm going to take this off, pack it away again, and start walking. Talk to you later. So Ozzy is there, eating a tiny. He's pretty much eating the tree. He always is chewing on something. And this one is Vespa. Ozzy, Vespa, what's this? There you go. Good boys. Ozzy, sit. Good boys. Well done. Good boys. Come on, Ozzy. Good. Good. Come on, boys. The light shining through the trees here, absolutely fabulous. You just see those rays. Oh, and the dogs are arguing, chasing each other. Come on, guys. There they go. They'll quite happily do that. Woo. I did really hope I caught that on camera. It looks like they're seriously having a go at each other. They just play fighting. Ozzy is definitely the water dog of the two. Vespa really doesn't go that far in the water. Good boys. Oh. You can see the light just shining through there. That is absolutely gorgeous. There just in the distance. Come on, Ozzy! Sun shining through. Oh, let's just continue to walk. We're fairly near the end, to be honest. This is one of those paths. Oh, that's very typical of a bearded collie and who likes water. Vespa desperately trying to get what is more like a tree rather than a log. Well done, fella, if you can get that out. You're going to give him a hand, Ozzy? You do the water work. And he's got it. Well done. Good boy, Vespa. Good boy. See him using his paw there to try and get it a little bit closer to his level for the water. He really doesn't like the water, whereas Ozzy, as you can see, is just ploughing his way through. He's not really bothered at all. Oh, you're tired Teds now, aren't you? Well, you just be careful. For a totally magical view towards the end there with the sun coming through. So what I'm going to do before I get to the end is just put the dogs on the leads and take a walk back to the car. Ozzy is absolutely enjoying himself over on the left there. So put this down, call him back, and chat to you later. You can just see the light shining through the trees there. And that's the way we're going. Leads not quite long enough. Let's just see if we do something a little bit to get them both walking together as we're coming into the sunlight. Fabulous. So this is what I would call the main drag in Wentwood, and we're going to turn right and go up an absolutely gorgeous tree-lined avenue. So, absolutely fabulous. Let me just, there we go. See those colours, absolutely gorgeous. Love it. Love this time of the year. We're lucky we might be able to see the leaves falling down. Those colours are absolutely stunning, aren't they? A little bit of an upward incline towards the end, going towards the car park. If I just sort of slowly turn round, absolutely fabulous. So, chat to you later. Bye. So, final walk to the car park now. It's only about 50 metres away. Oh, here we go. Walking with two dogs on a lead, you sometimes they go separate ways around you. Hey, there's a bit of a selfie. Come on, guys. There we go. Oh, that was a lovely bit of video. So the cars are just on the left-hand side now. Considerably more cars here than when I started earlier this morning. With lockdown, I've found since, well, when we went to lockdown, beginning of April, end of March, beginning of April, a lot more people have come into the outdoors and walking, etc. And that's absolutely fantastic. On one hand, on the other hand, I sort of think it's my woods and I want them all to myself. Very selfish view, I know. But it's great that people are actually getting outdoors, getting more fresh air, taking the dogs to places like this rather than just up and down the street or to the local park. Just pull through there. So I'll get to the car and see you on the next video, guys. Bye.